NHL Nightly with your host, the sports, a.k.a. Peter Lebowski, a.k.a. Jeremiah Maxwell. And with him, as always, maybe Pearlo, Wisdom, and Rico in Barry. Sup? How's everybody doing?
Good.
All right, let's talk some hockey.
Yeah.
Bruins claimed Yuri Patera, so I'm starting to. They must be further out on this deal than they thought. And I did hear Elliot Friedman reported 8 times 8 for Swayman. Is that official? I believe somebody double checked me on Twitter. I believe that is the case. I will look for it.
That was the weird thing is that they kind of made that public, and then the agent
then kind of had no choice. Then had no choice to be like.
The agent for Swayman said they had never heard those numbers before. So it's a really weird situation there.
No, I know. We talked about that yesterday, like where the agent came out, but I'm saying, okay, Friedman tweeted today. I saw this. Yeah, better news. It's okay. I thought maybe
I don't think so, man.
No, I swear to God, I saw something where he reportedly Bruins have offered to Swayman. Maybe I'm off. Let me know folks. Let me know. Twitter folks, you can chime in via Twitter on the chat, YouTube, and Twitch. We will see all you on Instagram. I'm watching for you. So if we get any viewers on Instagram, which we are live on Instagram tonight, on Twitch, on Twitter, and or X, and YouTube, I'm your host, Jeremiah Maxwell. With me, as always, maybe Pearlo, Wisdom, and Rico. That's going to change. We got the Degenerate Bostonian Mike joining our ranks. Pearlo's not going to be coming to you live from Edmonton too much longer. Rico will be our lone Canadian holding down the fort. But you can take the Canada out of the Canadian, but you can't take the Canadian. I don't know. So we'll figure it out. Pearlo will still be very much a Canadian hockey fan. So, and I expect Edmonton's going to be really good. So tomorrow, guys, we're going to do our final preview central. Lucy, what's up? I'm wearing Dallas in case you came back around. Wearing a Dallas hat. Put the Dallas jersey up. That Dallas reverse retro is maybe my favorite jersey I own. I got to get a Jason Robertson Dallas reverse retro.
Yeah.
Today I organized my jerseys alphabetically because I got too many of them, boys. I got too many jerseys now. I had to alphabetize them. Is that when you know you have a problem? You had to alphabetize your jerseys?
Or you got too much time on your hands. One of the two.
Well, that's a yes and yes, Rico, on both accounts for me.
I don't think it's a problem at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good problem to have if you're a diehard hockey fan like us.
Yeah.
But I do have a sick number of Jonathan Toews jerseys, Rico.
Yeah.
I have 4 Jonathan Toews jerseys, dude. 4.
Well, then you know what that means. You got to come down for Hall of Fame weekend when Jonathan Toews gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. Bring all your jerseys in a separate carry-on and get him to sign all of them and auction them off to our guests on the show.
Or charity. We'll give it up to charity. We'll auction them off, and whoever wins them will give the money to charity. Yeah, I would do that. That'd be cool. I'd be down. Let me know if you guys want me to get all my Jonathan Toews jerseys signed at the So this will be the last year I miss the Hall of Fame because I will be making the Hall of Fame every year. Rico, we will be going to a game or two when I'm there. Maybe, I extend the stay. We do some Ottawa stuff. We'll just play it by ear. I would like for my wife to come with me too, just because I think it would be a great trip. I'm bummed out I'm not coming this year, but yeah, I'm doing a family thing too, which kind of took precedence. And, my aunt kind of had breast cancer, so she's in the clear now, it looks like. But, so yeah, so Thanksgiving, I have, it's really my favorite holiday too, man. So I've always been a big advocate for it, and I just haven't been able to do it for a while. So, but the Hall of Fame gets sacrificed this year because of that. But I don't want it to from here on out. I think I can make both work, where we do Thanksgiving with the family and still do the Toronto Hockey Hall of Fame, which is was such a great event that I got to go. I really just want to go to the thing too. So it was great. It was really good. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Good times. And I drank beer with Mike Vernon, man. It's like cool. It was surreal. Like, hey man, congratulations, you deserve it. I really did. Like, I was on the Vernon deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Won 2 cups with 2 different teams, was the deciding goal. He was the goalie that got Osgood couldn't get over. They needed Vernon to step up. He did so good. I think people go back and watch those series, don't remember how good Vernon was. Anyway, I hope I didn't report false fact about Elliot Friedman, because I swear to God, I saw something. Maybe it was a burner account, but I don't follow that kind of stuff. Because like hockey, it's like there's no desire to get it out quick. Like I don't think it's as big a desire as like NBA and the NFL stuff. So I feel like they're okay in getting it correct. At least that's how I feel about it. So, Jets, Nino Niederreiter, who's looked good all night, got his second of the night to make it 3-2 Jets, by the way. If you're just joining us, there is preseason game on between Calgary and the Winnipeg Jets, which the Winnipeg Jets was the last franchise. Oh, I think I don't have Ottawa. I lied. I'm missing Ottawa too. So if anybody has an Ottawa jersey they want to trade for a Jonathan Toews, let me know. Throw it in the chat, Gabby Oates. If you're coming around, I'll trade you whatever color Jonathan Toews jersey you would like. I got. So
good guy to have lots of jerseys for, though.
So before we got on, Pearlo and I were talking. And so guys, tomorrow we're going to preview the Central. Okay. On the show, we're just going to talk all the teams. If I get a guest on, great. I don't know if Glassbanger from the Dallas Stars Superfan is going to come on. I'm going to work on it. I'm just going to see if he'll come on live and just be like, dude, give us your thoughts on the Stars. And then we'll just go through the rest of the teams. I'll let him go. So hopefully he comes on. I'll reach out to him in the morning and just be like, hey man, you want to come on at I guess it would be, I think Texas is Central time. So it'd be like 9:00 his time. It's probably not a terrible time to come on. So hopefully we can get him. Nick Maroc is his name. He's a good dude, man. Like, I think a lot of people like that take a lot of, I just don't understand why you would rip on somebody. Like, fan how you want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have enough of this people telling you what not to do and stuff. Like, celebrate your team the way you want to. Like, as long as you're not like infringing on it. And I guess, the knock for Nick and, he said he found Reddit and he goes, I am not liked. So it's like, but I think if people got to know the guy, they would be like, oh, this guy is a good guy. He just loves the Stars and he wants to, dude, he's at the games religiously, every team has that fan, shout out Joe Roebuck from, he's license plate guy for the New York Giants. He lost his brother. And Joe is a real, honestly, man, I'm proud to have Joe as a Giant super fan. He does a lot of charity work. He does a ton of charity stuff. So it's it's really cool, man. So those people can really make a difference and they become sort of, pseudo celebrities or whatever you want.
Look at Canucks Clay, man.
Yeah, Canuck Clay, great guy, man.
He's all Vancouver.
He's a class dude.
I don't understand why people get upset because somebody's all one team.
Just let them enjoy it how they want to enjoy it, though. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I think too.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
Who cares if you're a big fan of your team and you want to go out on YouTube and be a big fan and talk about everything about your team? What's wrong with that? I don't get it. I don't get why people get so upset.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. So let's talk some things. Arbor Jack Eye has become persona non grata in Ontario, in both cities, Ottawa and Toronto. So those games are going to mean a lot this year. I think the Leafs open up with the Habs. Do they not, Rico?
Yeah, I think so. On on Tuesday, I believe.
Yeah. So we'll have a lot to talk about next week. Tuesday will be our first episode of next week. And we'll have two more episodes this week. Thursday, we're going to give you our Central preview. That's the last conference division we didn't cover. And then Friday, we're going to give you our Hart, Selke, Norris, Art Ross, Vezina, Calder. I did think, should we have put President's Trophy on here? But you guys think about it. Eastern Conference and Western Conference champs, and then who's the Cup champ? So Friday, Rico, Pearlo, me, if Mike's here, if Occupancy makes it, we will give you those, our picks. So if Occupancy gets on, he goes, I don't know. Well, we'll let him go last. So he'll have it in his head by the time he gets there. But so we'll bring that to you guys. We just want to see, and I want to hear from the chat. Like, the chat's been really good and pretty coming out. So I appreciate everybody that's coming out and watching and loves to talk hockey, because it's kind of a diehard niche, but I love it. I love that we just, like, 25 of us closest friends can talk hockey. Okay, so Bruins claim Yuri Patera. Just to follow up with what Pearlo and I were talking before the show, I said it probably leads me to believe that maybe the Swayman thing is a little bit further out now. I don't know. I mean, so I listened to the Just Chaos, or I don't know. It's Pete Blackburn's podcast. Sorry, Pete. I had it in my head. Anyway, they are Boston guys, or Pete is anyway, and they went through the whole thing. I didn't get a warm and fuzzy from them. I think they feel like ultimately he signs. Let's talk Swayman trade packages. Like, Rico, kick it off, man. Who would you like to see Swayman go to, and what would they give up for him? And if you're Boston, you want a prospect, a goalie coming back, and probably a pick.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked Colorado already, but I mean, that's probably the one that's been out there. But man,
who do they give up though? Colorado's they'd have to give up Georgiev. Georgiev only makes like $3 million, so they're gonna have to figure out a way.
And they try to pry away somebody like a Casey Middlestad or something, which Colorado would probably put the stop to it there, because they don't have the depth down the middle. So
yeah, they need him, and they need him big time.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I heard rumblings today that maybe Montreal would be a good fit for Swayman. I know it's within the division, hated rivals, but
can you imagine if Boston trades Swayman and he becomes maybe Hall of Fame goalie?
Yeah, maybe see like a Montembeault or a Primo go the other way, and maybe this is just Boston's way of saying, you know what, we're going to a year or two away from rebuilding anyway, because Marchand's not getting any younger, and
I'll tell you what, I might give up my fandom and become a Habs fan if Jeremy Swayman goes to Montreal. Having met Kent Hughes, I love how they're building their team. If Jeremy Swayman went there, I might be Le Habitant. I may need to have Rico get French people on here and do the whole interview in French and then translate it back to us live, so we just get diehard Habs stuff. Rico, are you cool with that if we go down this road?
Yeah, man. Well, Montreal does have the cap room with Laine going down, and you know what? That would speed up their rebuild in a hurry. Boston would probably get some younger players. Montreal's full of them. Coming back the other way would speed up their development a little better.
What about Lane Hudson? You think they'd trade Lane Hudson for Jeremy Swayman?
That'd be a pretty wild deal, but yeah. Hey, I don't know, man.
Steve, what do you think? What would be a trade package you'd like to see? Unmute yourself real quick. Yep.
Montembeault, Hudson, and someone probably something like that.
Oh, Montembeault and Hudson. Well, yeah, you figure if you're Boston, you want a goalie coming back. You got to. I think Montembeault is a good goalie.
Yeah, imagine Lane Hudson and Charlie McAvoy on your top pair.
Oh my God, dude! Boston already is stacked D. Like, they already look good defensively. Mm-hmm. And all their bodies are big, so Hudson would be fine on that thing. He could thrive on that D, I think, if there was a way. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm excited. So but obviously that something's going down. Swayman's not going to sign soon if they claim a guy off from Vancouver. Macklin Celebrity was out day to day. Pearlo read it was precautionary, but I saw that was pretty bad. Obviously, we talked about Line A and Rumbrug. The Line A news came back. He's 2 to 3 months, so he'll be back by January at the latest. And I told Pearlo before we were started, I was like, that is kind of like them getting a guy at the trade deadline. So it could really help them, like just inject them, especially if they're right there in the mix, Montreal. So if they got a goalie in the trade, good God. So Ryan Dixon on Sportsnet wrote an article, 3 teams that should trade for Jeremy Swayman. I read that, and that's how I got the idea for this. Vegas, that would be awesome. Boy, people would be so pissed. Chicago Blackhawks, I like that one. And then I missed one. Oh, Utah. He said Utah. Utah could give up Karel Vejmelka, who actually Vejmelka has been solid. And I'm not making up his name. That's his name, Vejmelka. Or they could give up Connor Ingram, either one of those guys. If you're Boston, you want Ingram, in my opinion. But also, speaking of Utah, they sent Degenerate back to the juniors. I don't know if you guys saw that. Rico, did you see that? Pearlo?
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on the younger players too. Even Jackson Blake got some ice time tonight in Carolina as well too. And I saw Ryan Suzuki on the ice as well. That's Nick's younger brother. So the younger players were playing in the Carolina lineup as well tonight.
So I think Carolina's going to have to play their young guys. But what do you think of Utah sending Degenerate back to juniors? I bet you they wish they could send him to AHL.
Yeah, I mean, another year of development, let him rip it up, but obviously not a bad choice. Yeah, maybe just a little bit too young, a little too small for the AHL still. Maybe just set him up for junior. Obviously, his old man's probably got a little bit of feedback about that as well too, and probably knows the best for his kid, and he's probably communicating with the staff as well and knows what's best for him. Club knows best. I mean, that kid's going to be a superstar. Give him a couple more years and, he'll turn into a Shane Wright, but I know Shane Wright went to the AHL. So,
yeah, I really hope we see it. I mean, we all learned that Marty Brodeur had a 27-year-old son that played goal yesterday. I feel like, dude, I try to follow the prospect stuff, and whose kids are usually playing that are good. Obviously, we heard about Brady and Matthew long before they played in the NHL. Guys like Austin Matthews, you hear about before he plays in the NHL. He went over and played in the Swiss Elite League too. So
there was a Brindamore kid who was playing for Carolina too. He's 25.
Yeah, that's his son. That's Rod's son.
Rod's son too.
So he was at Quinnipiac. You're mute. You need to unmute Pearlo. He was at Quinnipiac. I watched him win a national championship. They beat Minnesota at the Frozen Four in Tampa, and Rod's son.
That's Skylar Brindamore. That's Brindamore's son.
Yeah.
Skylar.
Rod was there at the games. I didn't see him. But I ran into Kyle Dubas there. I ran into Mike Richter there. I talked to Joe Neuendijk. These are all guys I talked to. Joe Neuendijk lives in Tampa. Who knew? He still looks like he can play too. That dude's big. He's as wide. The only more wide-shouldered player I've ever seen and bigger than Joe Neuendijk was me and Hot Take Hockey were walking back to my hotel in Toronto from the first game, from the game we went to. I don't know. We went down there early. I can't remember why we were. We passed Ron Francis, massive. Dude was massive. Just crazy how big that guy. Just broad shoulders, Pearlo, probably 6'5". I mean, just like Hot Take Hockey, 6'3". He's a big guy. John Viveros is 6'3". So anyway, John, if you listen to this, he's a tall guy. He made Hot Take Hockey is not skinny. He's a good size. He's a medium-sized guy. He's definitely smaller than me, but he made him look small, man. He was like, oh shit, Ron Francis. I was like, fuck. And we just were like, I was like, should we go talk? He was definitely on a mission we're like, yeah, probably not. Like, let's just, because I don't care. Like, I'll just like, hey, it's so nice to meet you. Huge fan when you're growing up, like that guy was awesome. I mean, he was good at the end of his career when he was with Carolina. So, I mean, he was good with the Wings. Oh, Winnipeg scored again. So that would make it 4-2. Lundmark, I think. Anyway, Winnipeg's looked pretty good tonight.
The biggest hockey player I've seen that like there was a top end guy, like not just Dave Semenko was big, but Dustin Byfuglien. Dustin Byfuglien was absolutely enormous, man. That guy was absolutely enormous. And he could skate like the wind. Incredible player.
And you notice that on TV. You don't have to see the guy in person. When you notice a guy's huge on TV, that's when you know the guy's big.
Ovi does not look. Ovi is so much bigger in person than he is in TV. He's massive. When you see him up front and you see him up close, so I've seen him play 2 or 3 times now. Once in Anaheim, and when you get up close to him, he is so big because he's like 6'3", 240, but he's he's a massive man. You're like, damn, that dude is huge. Pronger was that way too. You're like, it doesn't translate. I couldn't believe. Did you hear Kipper talking about Pronger today on his show? Rico? I guess he skated with him, and he's like, yeah, I haven't skated in 7 years. I was like, good God. Kipper, I think, plays pretty regularly. I think he skates with like Lindros and stuff there. I don't know. We'll ask him when he comes on because he said he's coming on. So,
yeah.
So I didn't have anything planned. I didn't want to create any more controversy with this. I'm just going to be excited to see Jack Eye against, now everybody hates Ridley Grigg. Everybody's got a persona non grata on every team, right? So Ryan Reeves will wear it for the Leafs because the Perry kid's not going to play for Toronto, but I didn't really want to go into that. I did find something I thought was interesting, and there was an article I read where it talked about the 5 players who bounce back seasons or could really project. They had Arvidsson on there. I think that's realistic. Timo Meier, which he didn't have a terrible year, had 28 goals. He had 53 points. Probably want 65, 70 from a guy you're paying $8 million. Saros, which I was like, okay, he had an off year for him, but he was good. And then this was not me. This is the article. And then
Pierre-Luc Dubois not on there?
No. Well, yeah, he needs to be on there. Okay, what the heck? I guess I can't remember who this. I wrote it badly. But one was Riley Smith, who's with the Rangers. Of course, played with Pittsburgh last year. So, yeah, I wanted to ask you guys, who do you think is a guy you would unexpected have a bounce back? I said for me, before I let you guys go, I'll just say I think Andrew Mangiapane, he gets traded to the Capitals. The Capitals are going to need him. They need his two-way game. He's a responsible defensive guy, but I'd love to see him get like 20 goals, maybe 45 points would be pretty nice from him. So I don't know. That was just mine, just to give you an example of where I was thinking. Pearlo, why don't you tell us who you would pick?
I think Tage Thompson will have his bounce back this year. I mean, he had a great year, and then all the focus was on him the second year, which usually happens. And this year, I think that he'll put himself in a better situation, and that would, as well as that, I would say Stützle. For the same reason. I think Stützle will have a bounce back this year and be a much more offensive player for the Ottawa Senators. So,
yeah, the other player they named in the article, I apologize, and the article is by Dan Murphy. No, sorry. Adam Vingman. Adam Vingman from Sportsnet came up with this. So the other person they gave was Sergachev. So you don't have to give me two, but just one. Pearlo said Tage Thompson. I like that. Rico, what are you thinking?
I don't know, man. I'm just trying to think of somebody.
I mean, it could be somebody from Toronto, man, because that's a team you pay attention to. And, like, I feel like it's our obligation to talk Leafs. You know, like we should be wanting to. That's a big fan base. We don't want to alienate. We want to talk to everybody. So Leafs Nation is a big one. So, like, if it was you, I want to see like a breakout year from Matty Nyes.
Yeah, there's a couple guys that I think of. The one I said right away, that Pierre-Luc Dubois. Another guy that I can see that should, and he needs a bounce back season, is Elias Lindholm going over to Boston. I think he needs to reassert himself in the league as a guy that's going to earn that contract he got. And Timo Meier. But I think he was hurt a little bit too. Another one is Erik Karlsson in Pittsburgh. I think Erik Karlsson needs to reassert himself.
You don't think that's just a bad fit? I just feel like it's a bad fit.
It's a guy that needs a bounce back for sure. Maybe Korpisalo with the Bruins as well too. That's another guy that just
Kyle
had a
Connor,
bad year.
by the way, sorry, 5-2, Jets up 5-2. Kyle Connor, apologize, Rico, didn't mean to step.
No worries, man. Korpisalo, I'll say Korpisalo because he was in Ottawa on a tough team to play in front of, and now he's got a lease on life playing again in Boston, and he could be the starting goalie to start the year if nothing changes there.
He is going to be the starting goalie to start the year. That's already been announced.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, even if they get Swayman done, Korpisalo's starting, and they're going to need him to be good.
Yeah. Because so I say Korpisalo's going to have a bounce back.
Yeah, I think he will, just because of how well Boston plays. They're so defensively responsible.
I'll throw a Cole Caulfield in there. I mean, he didn't have a bad year last year, but I mean, wasn't a great dude. So
I think he was hurt.
I could see him potting 40 or 50 with Suzuki and Slavkovsky.
Well, he's wearing Johnny Gaudreau's number 13 over there.
I hope he scores 57, man, and runs for the Rocket. Honestly, because he did that. Like I almost went and bought.
I'd say 40 or 50 instead of 28. But he has the shot to probably pot 40, at least 35 or whatever.
Yeah, so Darkness Mike is big on Bussy. He said he's played really well in Providence. He's had a chance to watch him play. I don't think Boston's in as bad a shape as people would think. I think Bussy can more than back up Korpisalo. But look, like that. I mean, look, like Swayman could get injured. Like if they get him in late, like if you miss camp, you see this all the time. Players hold out and they're not conditioned for the season, and then they get injured. You skate with buddies is not the same. Like it's not playing beer league with Rico is not the same as NHL camp, man. Like from what I understand, some of these camps are pretty physically daunting. So guys try to stay in shape all year so they don't come in and they're not dying on these camps. So anyway,
well, I know Kopitar came out today. I can't remember where he said it, but he said he wouldn't be ready for the year if there was no preseason. He wouldn't be like ready properly. I don't know if it's because he's been doing it for so long, or that's just his habits, or it's just he needs to get into gameplay because it's not the same playing against your teammates. But I mean, that's a guy saying it after his arguably number one defenseman went down for a couple months as well. So I mean, not every player feels the same way as it comes out in the media. So I know Kopitar stepped up and he did say something that he needs a preseason.
Looks like the Wild owner came out too in support of a long-term deal for Kirill Kaprizov, but they're going to lose $15 million off the books this next year, so they're going to be A-okay. I mean, they could give Kaprizov all that money and not.
Did you say he's going to pay him more than any other team? He came out there and said that.
I think he was just saying, don't even think about trying to. Don't even think about trying to put in an offer on.
You can't offer him more. He'll be a UFA. They're going to extend him. They're going to extend him before he ever becomes a UFA. That's what they're doing. I mean, that's what all these teams are doing now. Like, you get on it, man.
But what's his name in Minnesota? Not Bill Guerin, but who's the other guy there? Rutherford? No,
Bill Guerin's the guy.
Yeah, but who's the guy above him? Because he's the one that's somebody other than Guerin said that we're going to sign Kiprusoff, and they said it today that we're going to sign Kiprusoff for more money than any other team will in UFA. And then I thought right away, I'm like, what the hell's
so
Bill Guerin saying? Don't
even think you're getting him is what he
he has 2 years left on his $9 million a year. So he's going to be a UFA after next or 2 seasons from now. This year, next year. So they'll get an extension done. All they got to do is get an extension done in the summer, this next summer, and they're fine. There'll be a year. You can do an extension a year out.
Yeah.
So
it was the owner. It was the owner that came out and said that.
Craig Leopold.
That's right. Yeah. It was the owner that came out and said that.
Yeah, that's what I said. The owner, Craig. I didn't say Craig Leopold, but I knew it was the owner that said it. Because I heard it on something. I think actually Colby and Johnny Last talked about it on their show this morning. Morning Cup of Coffee. Shout out Morning Cup of Coffee. They're back.
Yeah, the Athletics, Michael Russo reported that
Russo was on with those guys. Yeah.
I will tell you, nobody will offer more money than us or longer, period, he said. So
you can get the 8 years.
That we want them. That's right.
So if you go to UFA, you lose that 8 year. If you stay with the team, that's the big leveraging chip. I think honestly, that shit is going to change to like maybe even 9 in the collective bargaining agreement, because that benefits the teams a lot more than it benefits the players. If I'm a player, you want a shorter deal, because then you renegotiate and you get, now that could blow up in your face if your career's up and stuff. So that sucks. You don't get all that guaranteed money. But once you are out, if you're injured, the teams don't care. If you can't play anymore, those contracts aren't the big albatrosses that, a lot of people think they are. I think NHL general managers are pretty impressive on how they manage the cap. I mean, and it's only going up. It's going to be 94 already next year, they said. And these, by the way, these projections, I heard this on Steve Dangle, shout out Steve Dangle. These projections are from 2022, 2023. They don't even have the projections from last year. So all the sellouts, all the money being made. Again, I laugh. Every time I turn around, I read about this is the highest it's ever been. The NHL is making more revenue than they've ever been. The NFL is the highest it's ever been. And NBA. But the world sucks. What are you talking about? It's like everything is like the best it's ever been. It's like, stop watching the news. Start watching some hockey and enjoying life.
Yeah. Quit watching the border strike and going to Costco to buy toilet paper. This isn't 2019. It's going to last 4 to 6 weeks. Big deal.
Oh, my God, dude. I didn't even know what's going on, man. I've just been playing NHL 25 all day. That's what I did with my day. Ovi, man. I'm going to get there. Dude, I got like 33 goals with Ovi in like a kind of an embarrassing amount of time. So
that's because Pearlo's not in net.
Yeah, no, I've had some tough goals though. I've had some tough goalies. I'm getting good. I'm getting better at the game. So I thought honestly this year I was like, oh, the game has evolved so much beyond me. I can't play it anymore. And then I got it down to a level where I'm like, okay, this is enjoyable, because it has to be enjoyable. I don't care. I just want to enjoy. It's a stress releaser, right? So anyway, good stuff. With the thing. I was just trying to go through some of the injuries and stuff, but nothing big. We know about Reinbrecher. We know about Line A, of course, Macklin Celebrini. That sucks though, man. Like to see the kid get hurt in preseason, like to not start the season like 100% first year. So there's also a Utah-Anaheim game. So I got to figure out what's going on with them, because ESPN hasn't figured out, or they're not showing a lot of the preseason games for whatever reason. And then Edmonton is playing Seattle right now, or going to be, puck drop. That's today too, right, Pearlo?
Is it?
I think so. Edmonton, Seattle just started.
Yeah. And what the hell?
I'm
looking right at it. Let me double check, but I think I'm correct. There's other preseason games on.
Yeah, Utah, Anaheim, Killorn, and Yamamoto. Yamamoto with his third of the preseason from Robert Bortuzzo and Josh Doan.
Oh! We buried the greatest news of the day. The fucking Astros got swept out of the playoffs. Hey! Suck a dick, you trash banging, trash can banging, cheating fucks.
Yeah, we like glass bangers on the show, not trash bangers.
Yeah,
we called it Rico, right?
Yeah, dude, me and Pearlo talked about that the other night. We're like, Tarek Skubal, Cy Young, okay, take game 1. They got an unbelievable bullpen. Just fire off the bullpen.
You only got to win 2 games. I love it. I'll tell you what, it makes winning the division mean more. I think it's one of the best things. I wish the NHL would do it. I wish the NHL would do it in the first round.
But, dude, because now you got the Yankees playing the Kansas City Royals. Sorry, go ahead. No, I know winning the division in baseball.
I think the Royals beat the Yankees. I would not be surprised if the Royals beat the Yankees. I think the Guardians and Tigers is going to be a real good matchup, division matchup. Nasty. Yeah. I'm rooting for the Tigers, man.
They got the Tigers over the Guardians before I would take the Royals over the Yankees.
Of course, I'm rooting for my Dodgers, but like, I don't care.
Dodgers and Padres is going to be electric.
I think Padres are going to win.
Yeah, I agree.
We're live.
Padres were my pick. Padres were my pick halfway through the season to win the whole thing.
How much money you got on it?
Like $100 or something like that.
Oh, that's a good number. Yeah, dude, you probably got them at a nice number, $100 for them to win it all. You know why I would love to see the Padres win it all? I think they're the only team in the NL West that hasn't won a championship. The Dodgers have 7. The Giants I think they have like 11 or something. But most of them, when they were New York.
No, Colorado doesn't have one.
Colorado doesn't have one. Yeah. But Arizona has one, and they could add one last year. They were that good. Mm-hmm. And so that'll be it's
Padres pitching, Musgrove, Cease.
Musgrove left in the 4th inning after he was dealing all night with an unknown ailment, and he went right off the field after he was just.
They're beating the Braves right now 5-2 though, and they won the first game, right? So the Braves get in. By the way, the Brewers came back and beat the Mets. Okay, so this is the Mets' first loss in a while.
Who am I missing on the Padres? Cease, Musgrove.
I don't know, Pearlo.
Royals.
Yeah, I just love it.
What's his name with the 8 pitches there? The Japanese guy.
This is NHL Nightly turned into MLB the show.
Yamamoto's New York, though, isn't he?
No, not him. Guy's been in the league forever. Jesus, Murphy. I'm in hockey zone right now. Darvish, that's it.
Darvish.
Yeah, if you're talking about the San Diego Padres, you're talking Darvish.
Yeah, Darvish.
Yeah, darkness comes in with Darvish. But yeah, I didn't even know what you were talking about. I was like, I thought I was on a hockey show or talking baseball.
Yeah, I know, but it's kind of hard not to talk about baseball.
No, dude, it's fine. I'm laughing. And we talked a little bit about Pete Rose yesterday too. So, crazy, man. I'm loving it. All I wanted was the Astros to lose. I didn't care who wins. And the reason I wouldn't mind the Padres winning is, like I said, it would be good for that division, man. Everybody winning. You know, everybody's like, oh, the Dodgers didn't win. I was like, they won in 2020. They've won in 88. They've won 2 in my lifetime. Most fans would take that. Rico, the Blue Jays won 2 in your lifetime. Awesome. The Mariners would take 1 of those. I would love to see the Mariners win one. I was bummed out they didn't make it, man. They had such a good start to the season. Mariners would be cool.
One of the best starting pitching staffs in the majors from top to bottom.
Yeah, I mean, and it feels like they would have got what they got from Julio Rodriguez a couple years ago. They would be there. But I mean, I grew up with, I listened to so many Mariners games. Dave Niehaus, my, oh my, a grand salami. Edgar Martinez was the shit. So, like, I am a Dodgers fan, but I just love stories, like good stories. Baseball is all about stories, man. So I like the stories.
That's true.
I just want, if it's somebody new every year, I'll just root for. I don't care. I mean, like, I obviously don't like the Cardinals much. I don't like the Giants much, but really, it's just like, oh yeah, because they were always tough on us in the playoffs.
I think the Mets, the Mets and Phillies instead of the Brewers and Phillies. I think the Mets and Phillies would be good because they're close in proximity and
they're division rivals.
Yeah.
So that's a good one. Philly, New York is underrated good in everything. In basketball, in football. I mean, the Giants, and I know Giants fans, they hate the Eagles way more than they hate the Cowboys. I personally cannot. I despise the Cowboys. I literally like the Eagles. Like they're not. I've been back to kind of hating on them again, like the old school Giants fan I was. I'm kind of enjoying them not winning games they should be winning. So that to me kind of warms the cockles of my heart. Plus, they've been kind of an arrogant organization. So I'm kind of loving that they can't stop the run or anything like that. But so Pearlo has San Diego winning the World Series. I think that's not a bad bet. Of course, I want my Dodgers, but I would love to see the Guardians or the Padres, two teams that have never won. The Indians won in 1948. That's the last time they won a World Series. So, like, most of our parents weren't alive in 1948. So, like,
yeah. When the season started, I took Arizona and the Phillies to win the World Series. Then about a month ago, I took the Padres when they were.
So you have the Padres.
Same as me.
Yeah. So Padres and Phillies is what I have.
I bet you if you got the Padres at the beginning of the year, you probably got really good odds because they didn't make the playoffs. They're coming off of not making the playoffs the year before. So
yeah,
Gardner says he wants Brewers Tigers. I don't care. Brewers Tigers would be cool too, man. Brewers did come back and beat the Mets. Brewers is another team that hasn't won a World Series in a long time. Mets haven't won since '86. Doc Gooden, Darryl Strawberry, Gary Carter. That was such a good team, man. So, anyway, we're talking baseball now.
Yeah.
And for that reason,
my NFL team that I hate, you hate the Cowboys. I don't know why. I can't even tell you why.
I know why.
I can't stand the Dolphins. I freaking can't stand them.
I know why, Pearlo. That's easy too, because the Dolphins are the Cowboys of the 70s. I mean, the Cowboys were in the 70s too, but like a lot of their fans came out in the 70s, but like the Dolphins were so good in the 70s. So if you didn't like them, they were like they're the only undefeated team to ever win a Super Bowl. Go on and be undefeated, win a Super Bowl. It's never happened before. It'll never happen since. The 72 Dolphins.
I'm loving the fact that they suck this year. I fucking love it.
Oh, man, they're not good, huh?
They're horrible. They're horrible.
Yeah, my Giants
they got Todd Huntley as their quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, dude. I mean,
I guess I'm going to be a Colts fan, though.
She's wide open this year for the Detroit Lions just to slide right in there against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
I think the Lions are going to go. I think that unless they have a bunch of injuries, they looked really good. 18 for 18 in the game on Monday night.
Devontae Adams wants out of Vegas, and now he's out with a hamstring injury this week, apparently. But he came out today and said he wants a trade. So
yeah, it looks like actually he didn't come out and say. What happened was it was reported that for some time behind the scenes, he had been looking to get paid a new deal because the only person he's tied with CeeDee Lamb in the last like 2 seasons with like 22 touchdowns. Those guys have been dominant. People don't even realize. And Devontae Adams has had not good quarterbacks throwing him the ball. Like the Raiders have run out Jimmy G, then Derek Carr didn't do very well, and then Aiden O'Connell. And now he's got Gardner Minshew. Like, that dude is a stud. He needs, like, I hate to say this because I fucking hate the Jets, but they should trade. The Jets need to trade for him.
And there's going to be a lot of teams in play because his contract's expiring. So it's not like you got to carry
they have to redo it. They got to redo it. He's got 2 years left. They're going to have to eat $17 million. The team that brings him on has got to take on $17 million. So they'll figure it out. All they got to do is restructure the deal or whatever. They could work all that crap out.
Can you imagine Aaron Rodgers and he's got his old buddy Lazard or whatever from the Packers on the Jets too? Did he like?
Yeah, I think with Wilson, Lazard, and Adams, their passing game will be virtually unstoppable. Because Rodgers is so good at reading defenses. He doesn't throw picks. He doesn't make mistakes. I'm a little nervous with their O-line, and then I don't know what's going on with their run game. They didn't beat the
they lost 10-9 to the Broncos.
But the Broncos defense is good, bro. They're good. Yeah. I mean, they're good. Like, so, but like, and I think Bo Nix is going to be a good quarterback. They just don't they have Sutton. They have a good running back, but that's it. They don't have any, like they traded Noah Fant in that deal for Russell Wilson. So that was nice. Like if he's on there, you get him that tight end. I know the Seattle doesn't use him that way much, but he's also a good blocker. He's a good teammate. Like that's a guy you want on your team. But I don't know, man. Like Seattle's good, dude. Seattle's good. Like I know the Giants play them this week. I'm like, we're losing. Like I got 31 points from Kenneth Walker the 30 He just come back.
Seattle
and
had 4 guys.
I won my fantasy by 1 point.
Wow. Seattle had 4 guys on their defensive line or whatever hurt last week, so the guys got pasted by the Lions. So if they're healthy, they're a little different.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of thought that they got jobbed on a couple calls in that game too, man. Like I thought that was a really I got to be honest with you guys, man. I barely can watch these NFL games anymore. They're so poorly officiated. It's unbelievable. They call shit like a legal procedure they should get rid of it. Like no one cares. If you're lined up in a general line, it shouldn't matter this side or the other. Oh, because you could align. No, you can't throw to linemen. Just make it illegal to throw to linemen, period. They can't report as eligible. Then it doesn't matter where people fucking line up. You should be able to line up any fucking way you want. And I don't know, man. Like, are we watching these games to watch these guys throw flags? I hope the NHL doesn't have 80 fucking penalties for nitnoid shit. Like, I like clean games up and back and forth, no penalties. Just keep the flow. You know, like, not every this and that. And you know what I'm saying? Like, now I know guys are going to try to get away with shit, but it's like, damn, man. It's just, and now I feel like we get that a lot more in the thing, huh? So, Pearlo, are you able to watch Edmonton? It's already 0-0. They're in the half. And I am not able to bring up anything else. That was the only game that ESPN Plus had. Oh, you know what? TNT might have it. Okay, well, anyway, we're going to end the show on that note. So we'll see you guys tomorrow where we're going to talk Central Division previews. And then Friday, we're going to give you our Cup champions, conference champions, Hart Trophy, Selke, Norris, Art Ross, Vezina, Calder, and which is Rookie of the Year. So, and if you guys think of anything else, I guess we could say the Ted Lindsay too, if you wanted, but that's like one the players vote on. So it's going to be McDavid. Yeah. Probably going to be McDavid.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I got Center Ice package and they don't even have Edmonton on.
Yeah. I don't know what it is with now. I know they're doing some remote. That might just not been, I don't know.
Oh, wait, maybe I do have Edmonton this week. No, I got Florida, Tampa Bay. I had Florida, Tampa Bay.
That's over.
No, Edmonton.
Florida, that one, yeah.
It's over now.
Oh, are you saying, are you what? Oh, yeah.
I should get for the amount of money I paid for Center Ice package, I should get every single game. I get in the regular season, I do get every game. But I should get all the preseason games. I should get all of them.
Yeah, so I think it's like here in the States, Pearlo, preseason games aren't licensed by the NFL, so the individual teams do licensing deals, and a lot of times they're just tied to locals. So that's why I imagine it's the same with preseason hockey. I know a lot of people don't know that, but that's kind of why it is that way. And it's very hard to watch all the preseason games. Now NFL has since capitalized on it and said, hey, if you pay us $9 a month, we'll let you watch out-of-market preseason games if you're a diehard fanatic, like a lot of the internet people you'll find doing what we're doing are. And so a lot of them do it. I think NFL preseason is worthless. I love NHL preseason just to see some of the young kids play. When the vets are playing, I really don't care. At that point, I'm like, just don't get hurt. Let's see you on the regular season. So we didn't talk about it, but we'll talk about it a little bit tomorrow. Gary Bettman did come out and say expansion wasn't in the books, but we all know that's probably not going to be the case. But he also said the owners want to shorten preseason, add 84 games this season. What that would do was each divisional team would play each other 4 times. I think that is the right answer. We need to have that. We also need to have the season end by the end of March, and the playoffs start the first week of April. So we are done with the Stanley Cup Finals by like Memorial Day, which would be perfect. Like perfect, because Game 7, and I think it's similar in your country, that it's like a 4-day weekend. So if you could tie it up with that, it'd be good. So, yeah, Avi, I hear what you're saying, but they're saying 84 games. Owners aren't going to take less money. They make a lot of money from gates. Most teams do really well at gates, and that's where they generate a lot of their cash flow. So you're not going to see it ever go less. I would love 72 games. I think we need to be started puck drop yesterday, October 1st, or because it's the 2nd today. So, come back tomorrow for Central Division preview, and then Friday we'll give us our things. So, it's all good. So anyway, appreciate everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. See you, everybody. We're going.